Modern environments are engineered to filter out friction. From climate-controlled rooms to instant digital gratification, we treat even the smallest psychological discomfort as a technical defect that requires an immediate fix. This creates a specific, homogenized baseline. Society expects everyone to desire the same level of safety and positivity. As the observation goes, no shepherd and one herd. Everybody wants the same. Everybody is the same. Stepping outside this consensus triggers immediate social correction. Choosing deep struggle or intentional hardship over convenience is viewed as a malfunction. Those who diverge are quickly labeled as broken, or, as the saying goes, they go voluntarily into a madhouse. We mistake this frictionless existence for progress. In reality, a system that pathologizes struggle effectively enforces a ceiling of psychological mediocrity on everyone within it. Biological and psychological systems require stress to maintain their integrity. Constant shielding from resistance causes our natural resilience to atrophy, leaving us vulnerable to the smallest external shocks. The comfort you are taught to seek functions as a weakening agent. It ensures your psychological defenses remain thin and easily punctured. Breaking this cycle requires a complete departure from the herd's survival strategy. Developing genuine strength starts with seeking out the exact resistance that most people spend their lives avoiding. To understand development, we look at bidirectional growth. A tree cannot reach for the sky without establishing corresponding depth. It is the same with man as with the tree. The more he seeks to rise into the height and light, the more vigorously do his roots struggle earthward, downward, into the dark, the deep, into evil. In a psychological context, the deep represents our shadow selves, the internal struggles we suppress. The herd attempts to prune these dark roots away to maintain a surface-level positivity. However, a canopy without a root system eventually starves. By cutting off the darkness, they inadvertently kill their capacity for height. Reaching the highest levels of human capability requires an active, intentional descent into these internal depths. Greatness is impossible without the anchor of the shadow. Entering your own psychological darkness creates immediate, crushing friction. The weight of your own flaws and fears presents a level of resistance that most people find unbearable. This friction defines the true metric of willpower. It is not a gift or a personality trait. It is a muscle measured by how much resistance, pain, and torture it endures without breaking. Holding your ground under this extreme downward pressure creates a grueling stress test. It requires sustaining focus while the mind screams for the safety of the herd's comfort. Pain serves as the objective calibration tool for measuring an individual's actual power. The higher the threshold of endurance, the greater the potential for upward growth. There is a warning here. Suffering without direction is merely a tragedy that eventually fractures the mind. To be useful, pain must be given a purpose. High-agency individuals perform a clinical analysis of their own suffering. They look for the specific leverage points hidden within the struggle, treating their own pain as a dataset to be mastered. This illustrates the mechanism of transmutation. The brain views downward pressure as potential energy, similar to a structural coil spring being compressed to its limit. When the individual turns that resistance to their advantage, the energy is released. The weight meant to destroy them becomes kinetic force, propelling them past original limitations. Absolute power belongs to those who master the alchemy of turning their worst suffering into unstoppable forward momentum. The herd views pain as a failure of happiness, while the outlier treats it as the essential raw material for strength. These two worldviews can never be reconciled. This perspective creates a unique psychological armor. When anxiety or resistance strikes, the individual no longer perceives it as a signal to flee. They recognize it as the very substance required to build a harder exterior. The madhouse that society fears is actually the psychological forge. It is the only place where unbreakable resilience is manufactured. Personal growth is not a journey toward a life of ease. It is a journey into a deeper, darker capacity to handle the world as it truly is. Embrace the deep descent. Endure the violent resistance, and let your pain anchor your absolute highest potential.
True enlightenment and height are exclusively reserved for those willing to brave the dark.